What if I told you your mind is lying to you dozens of times every single day? Not because it's broken, not because you're weak, but because your brain was designed to keep you alive, not happy. Think about it. You could receive 10 compliments and 1 criticism, yet somehow your mind replays the criticism all night. Why? Why does one embarrassing moment from 5 years ago suddenly appear at 2 a.m.? Why do negative thoughts seem to repeat automatically even when you desperately want them to stop? And here's the strangest part. The more you try not to think about them, the stronger they become. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden reason your mind keeps looping negative thoughts. And by the end of this video, you may never look at your thoughts the same way again. Let's travel back. Not 10 years, not 100 years, but 50,000 years. Imagine you're walking through a forest. Suddenly, you hear a rustle in the bushes. Your brain has 2 choices. Option 1, it's probably nothing. Option 2, danger, run. Now here's the problem. If your ancestor chose option 1 and was wrong, they became lunch. But if they chose option 2 and were wrong, they simply wasted a little energy. Over thousands of generations, human brains evolved to favor caution, to assume danger first. Scientists call this the negativity bias. Your brain naturally gives more attention to threats than positive experiences. This is not a flaw, it's survival software. Research in psychology consistently shows that negative events have a stronger impact on memory and attention than positive ones. In other words, your brain treats bad news as more important information, which means even today, your mind is scanning for problems before possibilities. Not because life is terrible, because your brain still thinks it's protecting you from predators. The predator has changed. The survival system hasn't. Now here's where things get strange. A psychology experiment revealed something shocking. Participants were told, "Do not think about a white bear." Simple, right? But the more people tried not to think about the bear, the more often it appeared in their minds. A white bear. Again, and again, and again. This became known as the white bear effect. The brain doesn't understand "don't think." To avoid a thought, it must first check whether the thought is present, which means every attempt to suppress it secretly brings it back. Think about someone trying to stop worrying. They say, "I don't want to think about failing." The brain responds, "Okay, let's check whether we're thinking about failing." And suddenly, the thought returns. The harder you push it away, the harder it pushes back, like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. Eventually, it explodes back to the surface. This is why fighting negative thoughts often strengthens them. Now let's meet the real culprit. A tiny structure deep inside your brain called the amygdala. Think of it as an alarm system. Its job is not happiness. Its job is survival. Whenever something feels threatening, the amygdala sounds the alarm. The problem? It doesn't always know the difference between danger and discomfort. A tiger? Alarm. Public speaking? Alarm. Sending an important email? Alarm. Being ignored by someone you like? Alarm. Your brain reacts to many emotional situations as if survival is at stake. And once the alarm sounds, your attention becomes glued to the problem. This is why one awkward conversation can replay for days. The brain believes, if we keep analyzing this mistake, we can prevent future danger. so it keeps replaying it over and over and over. Not because it enjoys your suffering, because it thinks it's helping. Now here's the part almost nobody sees. Negative thoughts create emotions. Those emotions create more negative thoughts, which create more emotions. A self-reinforcing loop. Let's say you think, what if I fail? You feel anxious. Then your brain notices the anxiety and says, see, something must be wrong, which creates another negative thought, which creates more anxiety, and the cycle continues. Psychologists call this rumination. Rumination is like a rocking chair. It gives your mind something to do, but takes you nowhere. Studies have linked excessive rumination to anxiety, stress, and depression, because the brain mistakes repetitive thinking for problem solving. But replaying a problem isn't the same as solving it. Imagine watching the same movie scene 100 times. No new information appears, yet your brain keeps pressing replay. Many people spend years trapped in this invisible cycle without realizing they're stuck inside it. Imagine two employees receive identical feedback. The manager says, "You did well, but there's room for improvement." Person A hears, "I did well." Person B hears, "I'm not good enough." Same words, different reality. Why? Because the brain doesn't see the world as it is. It sees the world through existing mental patterns, past experiences, beliefs, memories, expectations. If someone has repeatedly told themselves, "I'm not enough," their brain becomes a filter, and every event gets interpreted through that filter. The thought feels true, not because it is true, but because it's familiar. And familiarity is powerful. The brain often prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar possibility. Now here's the most important realization. A thought is not a command. A thought is not a prediction. A thought is not reality. A thought is simply a mental event, nothing more. Neuroscientists estimate that thousands of thoughts pass through our minds every day. Most appear automatically. You did not consciously choose them, just as you don't choose every cloud that appears in the sky. The problem begins when we assume every thought deserves our attention. It doesn't. Some thoughts are useful, some are noise. The skill is learning the difference. So the next time a negative thought appears, don't ask, "Why am I thinking this?" Ask, "Why is my brain trying to protect me right now?" Because that's usually what's happening. Your mind isn't your enemy. It's an overprotective guardian using ancient survival software in a modern world. And the moment you stop believing every thought, you stop becoming controlled by every thought. Remember this, the thought may appear automatically, but whether you follow it is still your choice. And that choice is where freedom begins.